You have arrived at the K.O.E. Nation.
Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special spirit review of the Glen Moray line here, folks. I am your King of Extreme Phil, K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes you the podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance. One damn handsome man, if I do say so myself. And you can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and now Twitter as well. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the 15-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion. I am non-chill filtered, quadruple distilled, and bourbon barrel finished.
Ooh, nice, nice. So, Tony, this is just kind of a slapdash thing that just kind of came spur of the moment. Just this line review. It's not, you haven't really had this idea cooking in your mind for very long.
Only since you basically had the channel up, but whatever. Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is one that we've been trying to get to, but always just kind of was on the back burner from all these other projects. And after we got the bourbon tournament done, Tony said, I am not recording one more video until we get the Glen Moray line complete. So, Tony, before we're here, Glen Moray, what part of Scotland does it hail?
This is the Spey side.
The River Spey.
Yes.
So, Tony, okay, you know me, I'm a little bit of a Highland snob.
You are?
But boy, howdy, does the Spey side attract me more than once. I've been tempted by the River Spey.
This is going to attract you 4 times over, because what we have here is the cask finished line of the Glen Moray line. We have got, as you can see, not much left. Specifically, the main reason I want to get this done, because I need to get a fresh bottle of this soon. This is probably, in the past, has been my favorite. I haven't touched it in a while because wanted to hold a little bit for this video in case I couldn't find another bottle. The Glen Moray Port Cask Finish. Now this is 40% ABV. Next up, we have Glen Moray Chardonnay Cask Finish. Also 40% ABV. Stop me if you heard that.
A lot of people don't like Chardonnay finished whiskeys. I, on the other hand, love Chardonnay, so I bet I'm gonna.
This is a fresh bottle that I'm not even a giant fan of in the past, of the Cabernet Cask Finished Glen Moray. Guess what? 40% ABV.
I'm gonna say that over 2 very long evenings, discussing many life and truth, I knocked out an entire bottle of that over 2 very long evenings. So.
And last but certainly not least, the Sherry Cask Finished. And yes, folks, it's 40% ABV. Also, not much of that. So, we have got 4 different cask finish Speyside scotches here. Now, they're all uniquely different, but all coming from the Glen Moray line.
So, let's start off the port here, T.
All right, that's the one with the most air in the bottle.
I'll just give myself a. Oh, that was a bit of a healthy pour.
Well, I'm gonna swap.
Here.
Okay. Yeah, there's not any reason for me to keep this bottle, so we are allowed to have as much as we like.
Oh my! All right.
There we go.
So, and you got 1.5 good drams should you feel the need for any reason. Now, let's just go on down the line. Now, here's the thing. In the wine world, there's some people that are called ABCs. It means anything but Chardonnay. And I am not a member of this group.
No, you're not.
I have been a lover of Chardonnay. I was in a wine challenge, a white wine challenge. I brought a bottle of Napa Valley Chardonnay, and it got beat by Nebraska's own 2 brothers.
That's right.
That I was quite shocked about. So, James Arthur Vineyards, 2 brothers actually beat out a Napa Valley Chardonnay. I was quite amused by that. All right, let's hear the pop.
Marvelous.
A+ for.
Marvelous.
I mean, let's be frank. Glen Moray is not what people think of when they think of like top end whiskeys like Glenfiddich or Dalmore or something like that.
No, roughly you're gonna pay anywhere from $29.99 a bottle to $39.99 a bottle for any of these cask finished Glenmorrays.
Cabernet. Oh, I'm gonna love that, T. Oh my god. Oh, give yourself a pour. And then the time-tested and proven sherry cask finished. Name a Scotch that isn't improved by a sherry cask finished.
Not improved?
Exactly. That's
you could argue the word improved, but it doesn't mean it's not good.
To me, I think any Scotch in the world, every major malt house needs to have some sherry cask finishing just to kind of demonstrate its type. I mean, there's, like, to me personally, the Dalmore has always been my pinnacle, but for other palates it might be different. But
so if you just run your nose across this is like smelling a Skittles bag. Oh yeah, it's just a bag of fruit, baby.
Now, T, I'm a wine snob.
Indeed,
a little bit of wine.
That's why you were necessary for this.
All right, well, let's begin with Glen Moray. Let's see, we've got here. All right, Glen Moray Port Cask Finished. I'm looking forward to this.
Now, mind you,
chocolates and toffee.
You got to get a little deep into this one. Just keep in mind, this one's had a lot of room to breathe in the bottle.
Despite all of that, it's giving a nose that's reminiscent. To me, it immediately makes me think of the Dalmore Trio.
Okay.
So
I'm getting like a hit, it's a subtle
cocoa powderish,
like a raisin, like a chocolate covered raisin.
I could see that. Let's go through the noses real quick before we start hitting them.
Now we are on the Chardonnay. That literally just smells like Chardonnay. I don't even smell the whiskey there.
I can really stay in that nose all day.
I had a feeling.
I could, like, literally, if you just had like a pool where you're like in one of those little floaty things and just, I could float in that nose all day.
Yeah,
that is.
I figure that's right up your alley. Yeah, that to me just smells like Chardonnay.
I'm gonna enjoy that.
That cast finish is just overwhelming on the nose.
Let's do the Cabernet. Okay, that's dry red.
Yeah, which is not my. Out of all the wines here on the table,
and there you get more cask here.
Cabernet is my least favorite out of the bunch. So, the nose, yeah. But this to me smells like if you mixed a dry red wine with Johnny Walker. That's what this smells like to me,
dude.
That's exactly what this smells like to me.
Specifically,
like Johnny Red.
No, I was gonna say Johnny Gold. I know it's a good Johnny, minimal peat, and it's got the cab finish. With a heavy char. So there's like a lot of wood that got in there.
I'll move to Johnny Double.
Oh, well, there you go, folks. And then last but not least, Cherry. The venerable Cherry.
Yes. Fairly spicy for what we're getting here.
I was about to say, like, cinnamon spices and nutmeg and...
Almost like a licorice element to it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
But, all right. Now we get into the tasting part, P.
Yes. Good luck editing these solo reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to be bouncing back.
Oh, I'm aware, but I am above it, folks. You won't even be able to tell I might even like edit in a few like standing ovations where like people think like Phil. Yeah, don't worry. It'll be awesome.
And I'm out.
No, just nope.
I'm out.
That was Tony's
That was my
final
review.
appearance. No, that was it.
it.
That was it. Tony. That was his
Yeah.
retirement. That was his swan song. All right, T.
The port.
Yes, port finished. Okay.
Oh, that's lovely. I haven't had.
First drink of the day, so it always hurts a little bit.
I actually had 1 small dram at Dalmore 12 to get my Scotch palate
Nice.
ready. Much earlier, but I haven't had that. I probably haven't opened that bottle in, I'm going to say at least a year. At least, because I was specifically holding it for this reason. Now, again, I want you to understand, going against the rest, maybe it's not fair because you can see 2 very clearly almost full bottles, 2 very, very low bottles. I don't know if that's going to play into any palates here, but just keep it noteworthy.
Honestly, I'm getting like a sour cocoa powder.
For me, that's a heavy favorite right out of the gate because this one, it's true to form. The Glen Moray base Scotch that this is before it's finished. I feel like this is probably the most adjacent to it. This, to me, tastes the most like the Glen Moray Scotch with a very subtle finish, with a very pleasant, subtle finish from the casking.
Yeah, I've heard many a time from many bartenders that when they start pronouncing the word Scotch, it's Scosh. It's time to cut them off.
Yeah.
Glen Moray has probably led to that more than once. But Tony wants more. I think I might know why though. Tony, what I'm really looking forward to though is Glen Moray Chardonnay finished. Oh.
Yeah, again, that's just Chardonnay all over the nose. Don't.
I'm really afraid this is going to be like the Macallan, where the nose is so hauntingly good that the palate can't live up to it. I'm really afraid.
I think you're going to be a fan of this. But like I remember it. Yep. It's really sweet. It's really nice on the
Becomes
front.
brownies the longer you leave it in.
It's a great start. For me,
Grainy on the start.
it's the finish. It's the finish I have a problem with. It's like it's that same thing you get with Chardonnay. It's like dry and oily at the same time, somehow. And I don't know how else to describe it. Like that's
Especially if it's European Chardonnay and it's been grown in really almost stony soil to the point where you can just, it almost tastes salty when you drink it. And it's like, oh, it's delightful. Now, California Chardonnays are juicy and delicious and sweet, buttery. And what was that one flavor you said that you always associate with Chardonnay?
oil. What did I say?
Oh, I forget. Like it not like an oily, almost an
dry
oily.
and oily.
Yes, there we go. Dry and oily. That is
Simultaneously.
That's what I love about Chardonnay. It's sweet, dry, and oily. It's just such a unique mouth
It's
experience.
got a very buttery sweetness on the front, but then, yeah, that finish. I'm trying to think of what it is that you can put on your palate that reminds you of that finish, and I cannot put my finger on it, but it's specific. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually, but it's good. It's really nice. It's really good on the front. I'm not a huge fan of the finish on this one, though.
You know, everybody's entitled to do that.
Sure you will be many a time.
It hasn't happened yet, but I'll let you know when it does. All right, so let's move on to Glen Moray Cabernet cask finished. Now, again, this is dry red with oaky cask influence.
Yeah, and you...
Like one time I actually got a California cab that was finished in a bourbon barrel.
Wow.
And I feel like it was to fix some of the harsher edges on the cab, but I liked it.
Yeah, you get a lot of that peat on the nose the longer this sits. And I'm imagining that's what we're going to get on the palate as well. So,
Slanjava. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes you think of Pete a little bit.
See, and yeah, if I didn't know any better, I would think that this is a Highland or a Lowland finished in Cabernet. Man, that's dry. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's dry.
Yeah.
It's really, really dry.
Or like one of them weird cask finished Campbelltons.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Yeah, I agree. Campbellton would be more reminiscent of what that brings to the table.
like honestly, that's the one that's the most divergent from house style.
Yeah,
and we just opened it here fresh
Yeah.
for you folks, so how interesting. Like, yeah, that one makes me think Campbellton.
Yeah, yeah, it is a space side. We know this, but yeah, after having a Campbellton, that tastes like a Campbellton. You are 100% correct.
Now, let's move on to Glen Moray Sherry cask finished. Okay.
Yeah.
Familiar
Sweetness,
territory.
Sherry spices. Gonna be a little jagged, but inviting too.
Bit of like unbaked cocoa
Oh.
powder before you put it into your brownies or something like that.
Oh yeah. But
Plum and a bit of pepper.
yeah, that's a great way to put it. Like a
Plummy pepper. Like, yeah, I don't know how else to, like, it's
what kind of pepper though?
it's not just your standard.
No,
like, you know,
it's not like a
table
black
shit.
pepper.
It's one of those, like one of them fancy restaurant guys. Be like, can I put some pepper upon your on your salad too? And like,
Yeah.
and you like gotta like tip the guy $1. You're at one of them kind of fancy places. So that's what I'm getting there. Now, Tony. Now we get to a very interesting part here, and that is the grading of each of these whiskeys.
All right, so
Okay, we're gonna grade them all as a single malt, as a Scotch, as a whiskey. It's shelving, and for those new to the show, secret fifth question. We're gonna start here with Glen Moray port finished. So Tony, as a single malt Scotch, how do you rate it?
as a single malt, I really like this one. This one's always been probably my personal favorite. I love the sweetness. I love just everything about this, start to finish. As a single malt, I'll be modest. I'll give this 3.
I'm trying to find a reason to not agree with you, but 3 as a single malt is pretty good for this.
Yeah.
And like that's right where I was sitting. Now I'm gonna rip this band-aid off as a Scotch. I'd put it 2.5.
Yeah,
It's right in the middle. It's just dead center of the world of Scotch.
I'm gonna go 2.75
Okay.
as a Scotch because this is a cask finish that I really enjoy. I think this is probably one of the more approachable cask finishes if you're going to have a cask finish in a beginner type Scotch, which this absolutely is. So 2.75.
2.75. Okay. As a whiskey.
Oh, as a whiskey, I'd go 2.5 as a whiskey because, yeah, again, it's cask finish. It's going to be niche. It's a Scotch, which is even more niche in the world of whiskey drinkers. So yeah, 2.5.
I'm gonna go 2.25 as a whiskey.
Okay.
You're limited in what you can do with this.
Very.
Now in terms of shelving, this would probably sit on my bottom shelf.
This will be on my middle.
Okay, all right. And then the secret fifth question, Tony. When this bottle runs empty, which that's a reality you have to appreciate is coming, will you seek another one?
Yeah, this is the one that I've been needing to replenish. So, yeah, I will be. I will be buying another.
Alrighty. So,
Glen Moray Port.
Glen Moray Port finished. And great stuff. Now, Glen Moray Chardonnay cask finished. All right, Tony, on a 5-star scale, as a single malt Scotch, how do you grade?
As a single malt, I'm going to give this 3.25. It's unique. It's got a great front. It's got a finish that people that like finishes are really going to appreciate it. So, yeah, 3.25.
3.25. Okay. As a single malt Scotch, I'm going to give this 4 stars.
Wow.
I love this stuff. It's a little Macallan-y in that its nose is
Love how you use that as an insult.
I know, like most people would be like, that's not a, but like, Tony, I mean, okay, it's just a personal thing, I understand, but to me, the noses of Macallan are so hauntingly like, they're like a tapestry of art in your nose, and there's no way your palate can ever be as trained to match that beauty, okay? And so that's why Macallan is always very challenging for me, okay? That's a good way of putting it. And Glen Moray Chardonnay, it's pretty damn close there, T, okay?
Okay.
I might even just have to sniff a bottle of Macallan. So, as a Scotch, putting it up against all the Scotch and all of the great nation of Scotland,
I'm going to go 2.25 as a Scotch. Yeah, the Chardonnay definitely limits this in terms of where it can compete, so...
It's niche, but I'm still going to give it 3 stars.
Okay.
I think this stands up against most Scotch, especially anything that's even got the lightest hint of peat. Because all these, like... Let us know in the comments which ones you think do or don't. This one probably has the least of anything.
Yeah, it might be fair.
This seemingly had the most. Like, now, granted, we've had some casking where there was no peat, and they just seem to find a way to get in there.
Appears.
So,
as a whiskey,
yeah, I'm gonna go 2.5. Much I don't like to. You're so like Tony. Name one cocktail you could do with this.
Yeah, I can't. That's why I'm gonna go 2
on the
as
rocks.
A whiskey because, yeah, 2.
Scotch and soda, like
Maybe.
soda water.
Maybe.
I mean, you're extremely limited.
Like this is this is it. Like
yeah, it's not like I'll be honest. Like one Christmas, my brother mixed Dalmore 15 with Coke on ice. Okay, I tried it. It was really fucking good. It was really good. Like, and it was Christmas, so whatever. I get it. I know. Shed a tear. But I tried a sip, and it was spectacular. It was amazing. It was a masterpiece. I'm sorry. Okay, back to Glen Moray. As in terms of its shelving, this would be my middle shelf.
This might go on my bottom, but maybe my middle.
Trying to be very nice, even though you hate Chardonnay. It's
not a hate. It's just not my favorite.
You don't hate them. It's just you'd appreciate if they stayed a county or 2. Okay.
All right.
And then Tony, secret 5th question: when this bottle runs empty, will you seek another?
Not necessarily.
Okay, unless you have a need to have a complete Glen Moray collection.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling it's going to take you a while to get through this one. And I have a feeling it's been past the shoulder now for a little while. I bet this bottle gets a lot better.
Could be.
I would probably, this would be the only Glen Moray I would probably keep on my shelf, like that I would exclusively seek out. Now, if any of these were on sale for if you're walking by like, dude, really? Like I got a couple like bottles on my shelf that's why they're there, because I just got them on a spectacular price. This would be one that I might just seek out explicitly. So yes, I would. What do you pay for that?
That one was, I believe, I want to say right under. I got it on a sale, just under 30.
Nice.
Yeah, typically you're going to be like 35 to 40.
Anything under 30, that's a grab.
Yeah.
That's a grab.
Yeah.
All right.
That's usually when I try to get my Glen Moray if I need it, is when there's a Scotch sale going on at the liquor store where I know they carry the Glen Moray cask finish.
All righty.
That's
Now,
still in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Tony, Glen Moray, Cabernet, cask, finished.
Yeah, I had to buy that bottle
5
just so we
star
could
scales.
do this review. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and rip some band-aids off here. Scotch. I'm sorry, nice try, Glen Moray, 2 stars. A single malt Scotch. As a single malt, 2 stars.
As a single malt Scotch, I'm actually going to give it 3.25 because this is more proof of type for what people who typically drink Scotch are going to find. This somehow manages to find it's got a Scotch base that's welcoming. The Cabernet somehow managed to bring the peat out of itself. It magically appeared, which Scotch drinkers love them some peat. Got it. This is proof of type. So yeah, 3.25.
Okay. As a Scotch.
As a Scotch, 2.75. I'm gonna say.
I'll stick with 2 stars as
Okay.
a Scotch because, like, if you like peat, there's amazing stuff on the Isles and the Lowlands and even the Campbelltons that can be found. This one didn't impress me, and I love Cab, so I don't know what to say here, but 2 stars.
Okay.
In terms of a whiskey.
Oh, as a whiskey, this is a 1.5 star for me. This doesn't check any of the boxes for whiskey. You can't do shit with this other than drink it like that, and I'm not a big fan.
And in terms of whiskey, yeah, 1.5 stars. I gotta be honest. To thine own self be true. Socrates' first commandment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, shelving.
That's a bottom for me.
That's a bottom for me too, dog.
Yeah.
Now, when this bottle runs empty,
No.
the secret 5th question:
No.
will you seek another? No.
I don't even want this one, but we had to do this review.
Like you don't give it to me, but do we know anybody we could gift this to?
Need to have a poker game.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Bring that for poker night.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Glen Moray, sherry, cask, finished. So,
Mm.
on a 5-star scale, as a single malt Scotch.
I'm gonna go 3.
Yep, I called it.
Yeah.
3 stars.
I'm gonna go 3.
Same here.
It's again, sherry cask is kind of, metaphorical, really, with Scotch, right? So it's what you expect, but it's not like this is an age statement base. So the casking is kind of helping it along to get up in those ranks. That's just kind of how I'm thinking. So if this didn't have the single malt, if this didn't have the finishing, maybe it wouldn't be that good. I think you could say that about all these. In terms of a single malt, the casking is what's making this unique. Because otherwise it's a very basic Scotch. There's no age statement here, so the sherry is what's really putting this over.
Okay. Now, yeah, I gotta agree, 3 stars. In terms of a Scotch,
I'm going to stick with 3. Again, this one's had a lot of time to breathe in the bottle. I haven't opened this for a very long time. Maybe that helped. Maybe it hurt. I don't know. But this is one, like, these two specifically, the port and the sherry, it's always back and forth. I'll have them one night and it'll be like, I don't know. I'll have them another night, be absolutely blown away. I'm kind of in the middle of that with this one tonight. So it's one of those you revisit and go, wow, that's amazing. And then you come back and go, not that impressive. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm at.
Fascinating. Let's see. This is a Scotch 275.
Okay, fair.
As a whiskey.
As a whiskey with the sherry finish, I think this is a little more diverse than some of the others here. I mean,
I'm gonna stick with my 275 again. I know that's maybe being a little generous. Okay, 2.5.
I'll go 275 as a whiskey. The sherry does appeal to whiskey cocktails. Scotch and sherry finish is a little more, a little more approachable than a Cabernet or a Chardonnay or even a port. If you're going to cocktail a Scotch, this is more proof of type.
Okay. Now, in terms of shelving, to be honest, probably another bottom shelf rider for me.
Usually going to be on my middle.
Okay. Now the secret 5th question. When this bottle runs empty, will you seek another?
More than likely, yeah, I probably will. Like I said, I try to buy these when they're on sale, and now that we've done this review, I'll probably knock this bottle out, and how I'm feeling after the end of it, I'll probably end up buying another one.
Nice. Tony?
Whatever.
All that being blend.
Yeah, this is going to be probably terrible, folks, and I'm sure people are probably jumping through their screens, but yeah, this is going to happen. Wait, I just dumped...
Just do it.
Hang on. I just dumped sherry into Cab and port into Chardonnay. Port Chardonnay is actually lovely. Oh no. Sherry Cab, not so much. Now, all 4 cask finish Glen Moray. 1 glass to rule them all, folks.
1 finish to bind them. 1 finishing in the darkness. Bind them. Hey, I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd.
Yeah.
Couldn't help myself.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You should be. This manly review you just made all nerdy. Cask finish Scotch.
Just bind them.
Oh.
It's like if somebody...
I don't know what to feel about that.
You want to know my honest thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm not trying to be insulting here, but to let myself be true.
Okay.
Tastes like somebody was trying to make King Alexander III, but kind of got lost on the way.
Okay, well, you're not starting with a higher quality Scotch. Like, this is Glen Moray. It's a $30 bottle of Scotch. Dalmore is typically twice, if not triple that.
Fair.
So, yeah, that's not... yeah, but... All right, I can see what you mean, though. That's surprisingly not bad. I thought that was going to be terrible, but a lot of the cab comes through, as expected. But I get the front of that Chardonnay. I get a middle of the sherry port. Yeah, and the finish is all cab, really. But that's not bad. That's not bad. I could drink that. I could actually drink that.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well, what do you grade that?
I expected to grade it like a D minus, honestly, but
I'll give it a C minus.
I'm gonna go with a straight C. That surprised the hell out of me.
Well, Glen Moray line.
Wow.
It's been a long time coming, but we finally gave you your just due. So, D. All that being said, Thank you for joining us here at the K.O.E. Nation, folks. You can, of course, find me, Bill K.O.E. at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And I hope all of you make it back here to the K.O.E. Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser. God bless every last one of you. Raise a glass to yourselves. Tony, take it away.
This has been very interesting, very scientific, long time coming. Glad we finally got to do it. A couple of these bottles are going to disappear very, very soon. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. K.O.E. Nation, like, share, subscribe. We're going to give you the hard-hitting, honest reviews that other people, frankly, are probably afraid to do. That's what you come here for. Thanks for stopping in. We'll catch you on the next.